What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We back here about to check out some Gawr Gura. Okay, now my first introduction to her was on that Q song with Maury, and you guys was telling me, wait a minute, Dave, bro, there's like a whole bunch of stuff that's going on with this. I did a little bit of research into who Gawr Gura was, and it looks like she is the biggest VTuber streamer. I don't know overall, or at least in the HoloLive community. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm new to most of this. Okay. And y'all was telling me that this is one of the many, this song. And then I believe there's Reflect. And I believe you guys was telling me there's King that I need to check out. We're going to take them one by one. So let's go ahead and check out, see what this is about. It's time to learn today. She has, I don't need CC. The Egyptian vibes, that's interesting. Oh, I do need it, okay. Is that Japanese? Okay, so it's interesting, looking and everything. And obviously she's saying that she sees like, I mean, I feel like this may be pretty straightforward to get, right? It's almost like two halves of you. Everybody says, there's a yin and there's a yang. There's an evil, right? And then there's a good. And part of your life, I would think, especially when it comes to like making decisions and everything, is, which side you're going to fall on. What type of shortcut are you going to take to be able to get to where you need to go? Bad deeds, good deeds, and everything. So right here, when they were saying, I got you everything you craved and everything, some of this is color coded. So I'm sitting here trying to think which one's talking. Blue, I'm thinking over here. Red is over here. I'm sitting here thinking that everything you crave. So you know how we all got these type of demons and everything and stuff that we be fighting ourselves and everything. And, sometimes we like to indulge in certain things in order to kind of satisfy those dark desires or whatnot. But if we're not too careful, sometimes those dark desires can overcome us and completely replace who we thought we were, who we thought we was at the beginning. Starting off good, we started giving in to some of these type of dark desires. All of a sudden, we become that which we didn't want to become because we kept satisfying it and everything. So it's interesting that she's talking about a reflection here is because, if I was doing these type of things, it might get to a point to where I don't even recognize myself, right? And sometimes the quickest way to find that out, right, is by looking in the mirror. And you're like, yo, who is that I'm looking at? When did I become this person? And that's where my initial thoughts are going right now. The duality of personalities. That's interesting. Will we find common ground? Right? Because like I said, it's like a consistent battle. A life of no transparency is so much more smooth, right? Is when you hide things. Obviously, if you got this big, that's interesting. If you got like this big spot, big platform, super popular, right? Then obviously you're going to want to at least at your, to your best ability to try to control what people know about your life, right? Because you don't want everything to be out there, right? So her saying a life of no transparency is so much more smooth. If she doesn't like no transparency, well, I don't have to be transparent with you guys. If I could just live it how I want to, it'd be so much smooth because I'm controlling things. No, but there is transparency here. You guys know all of this stuff about me, and that's making things a little bit difficult. Now, sometimes it's out of our control, and if you learn some things about like me or about somebody else that I wasn't ready for you to learn, then things get bumpy. So yeah. I like the work they put into the CC. The other side right now. Oh, this beat. See, that's very interesting. Give it up and just ride the wave, right? Think about all the times some of us has probably been in this situation, right? I'm gonna try to reflect. I'm gonna try to use a example of to like the most basic example that I could think of right now, without getting ahead of myself. I'm sitting here thinking of a situation to where you would literally need to reflect. Let's say that you are on Twitter, right? And you got this amazing thing that you're about to post, but I would hope that some of you guys think about stuff before you tweet it, but you're about to post something that could have like ramifications on like whoever you're about to attack or whatnot, right? So you're thinking about this, and sometimes you have that back and forth dialogue between, man, I probably shouldn't post it. It's probably going to like ruin this person's life and everything. But I feel like it's the right thing to do, But on the other side, you got this evil side, like, nah, do it. This person deserves to be torn down and everything. These conversations don't happen as in time like this. These are like rapid fire decisions that are being made in your mind and everything. And you just sitting there wonder, oh, wait, should I post it? Now, when she said ride the wave, right? You also are kind of, maybe the darker sides also kind of think of just how much like clout you could possibly gain from like outing yourself or doing whatever you need to do that can kind of give you this rise of popularity and everything, right? Because if you did post it and it got popular, of course you're going to want to ride that wave, right? You're going to go into the comments, into the replies and everything, maybe even reply. Maybe you might find somebody who is not objectifying, sorry. Maybe you might find something that's countering, your post of your opinion or whatnot. You'd be like, no, I got all these people that's following me. Look at all these likes. I'm going to continue riding this wave. I'm going to tear this person down as well, right? Riding that wave, But I think most of this reflect generally happens before the action. But of course, there are times where you get sucked in too much, right? And then you start introducing these other type of thoughts like doubt, this conversation that she was having right here. I'm going to go back. See, I hate the way you judge me. I hate you. You know what I'm saying? These are all internal conflicts and stuff, right? You guys know the saying, nobody is your own worst enemy and your best friend in you. So that's what's going on right here. This beat's fire though. And it's almost kind of like it's bittersweet, right? You know that old saying that people say, you can't necessarily rise to the like the top or I think it was like an old saying, you can't rise to the top without, stepping on a few toes or clipping some people away and everything. It might necessarily not always be your intention and everything, but when it comes to business, there's competition, right? And if you want to get to the top spot, you got to remove who's ever at the top and everything. Some of this might, be a little bit of that darker side. So I'm sitting here looking at this conversation that she's having right here, where she said, I will not lie to myself. I will not lie to myself anymore. And then like the darker side's coming in. Let's say keep it going. One story ends. One story ends. Forgive me. One story ends. So it's like, all right, this type of situation is over and everything. Now let's just move on to the next one where there's still going to be kind of like that duality or that continuity of these thoughts just going on while as we continue to make decisions about whatever we're making decisions about. And then I'm only here because of you, right? So honestly, because of you, maybe this alter ego, this is why you're here. I mean, overall, it's still yourself, but basically kind of like having a conversation with yourself. Like you're like embracing like this possibly dark side of you, these things that you wouldn't necessarily do. You're embracing that side because it is who you are, right? There's a reason why, they have that whole yin yang, right? What is light without darkness? What is darkness without light? You can't have one without the other. If there's no light, then darkness is nothing. It's just, there's no word for it because there's nothing to compare it against. So they work hand in hand. And I think this song might be about the unison of that and what it looks like in dialogue form, maybe. Yo, you want to know so funny? Sometimes when I'll be looking at these reactions, I'll be thinking like, dude, am I like seriously reaching? This could literally be about just two different personas. You know what I'm saying? Just battling out each other. This could like the same, you know what I mean? Like not necessarily some like internal struggle and stuff that I've been talking about. I don't know anything about Gawr Gura. This could literally be just two personas that she plays and they're like battling it out or whatnot. And this is kind of a song about that. I often think of that. I do know that I be reaching sometimes, but I think this is part of the fun, right? Just to be as unbiased as possible, jump into this stuff without no clue of what's going on and see what I can dig up. And that's that doubt right there. That's that doubt. That's an inner doubt that stops you from moving forward. You ain't gonna never do that. All right, that's cool. You ain't gonna never do that. Then just go ahead and return back to what you was doing. So, goodbye again. And then the story begins again because you're gonna be here. Like you're gonna come back to this situation and you're gonna have these same things over and over and over again. Yo, come on now. Ain't that what I literally was just saying? Like, what is light without dark? Dark ain't dark without light. Nothing bad is without something good, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, while it is very possible that I could have been reaching the entire time during this video, I think I understood a good part of it, right? These are just internal battles and everything that some of us go through especially when you're on like a platform and you have millions of fans and support as she does and everything. I'm really kind of stuck on that, a life with, no transparency. And she also said, she said something about, what did she say? Right here. A life that's unpredictable. A life that's unpredictable is so much more bright, right? So just missing the randomness, right? I imagine that when you're on a platform, like you got paparazzi, you got people who dedicate their lives to know every single thing that you do. So where you can't just necessarily just do whatever you want, right? Unfortunately, right? Like these creators have lives outside of what they do here, but you got some people that just be so far up, you know what I'm saying? Like you feel like you can't do nothing. So that's what I get when she says stuff like this, like a life that's unpredictable is so much more bright. Life of no transparency, you know what I'm saying? So you want those private moments, but I'm just now starting to get into, most of this, the VTuber stuff and everything. And one thing that I'm liking is that, for me at least, they're shedding some light on some of the issues that some of these VTubers are facing, and honestly, I had no idea because I don't watch any type of VTubers on Twitch. I'm barely on Twitch. I used to stream on there, but now I'm barely on it. And if I do go on there, I'm watching like Summoner's War or some Call of Duty stuff on my way to sleep. But, but yeah, I didn't think about any of these things, right? So if there's anything holding me to these VTuber type of songs and Hololive, it's definitely because I want to understand the type of stuff that they're going through. I think it makes me as a better person, and of course, opens up my eyes and clears any type of tunnel vision that I may or may not have, regardless if I watch VTubers or not. So anyways, I've been talking for too long, as I always do. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.